Good evening. My name is Melissa Allen, and along with Harry Miller, my friend, we are very excited to welcome you to the Devil Mountain Coffeehouse. We'd like to say thank you to the Mount Diablo Unitarian Universalist Church for hosting us, and to our wonderful tech crew, Colin Ketchum and Jen Marsh. Our next show, and we're keeping our fingers crossed that it's live, will be in September on the 25th with Emma's Revolution. For more details, please visit our website. And if you got here, then you know what that is. But it is dmch.mduuc.org. We are requesting donations via our tip jar, which you'll see on our live stream page, which you're on right now, in lieu of tickets this evening. And this goes to support the performer, Scott Cook, who is a wonderful performer. I'm really looking forward to the show. Albertan balladeer, Scott Cook, toured incessantly around the world from 2007 to 2020, when the pandemic made living in a van much less appealing. He has created 7 different albums of straight-talking, keenly observant verse along the way. And since COVID canceled his performances during the past year, he's been living in Edmonton and performing once a month on online shows with his band, The Indorables. After all these years, he believes more than ever that songs can change your life and your life can change the world. Please help me welcome Scott Cook to the Devil Mountain Coffeehouse.
Good evening and welcome to the Devil Mountain Coffeehouse. I'm Leslie Takahashi and I'm privileged to serve as the lead minister for this wonderful community. We're so glad to have Scott Cook and all of you joining us in this virtual setting. And we want to just encourage you, if you're interested, to check out who we are as a progressive and welcoming community. We hope that you will also, in addition to joining us for this coffee house, if you're new and visiting, also come and visit us for our other online and now hybrid activities that are happening on campus a couple times a month during this time. Welcome. It's so good we can gather this way. We're so grateful too. I would be remiss to not mention how grateful we are to our staff, our tech staff, especially to Mark Tuning and Colin Ketchum, and also to our amazing Devil Mountain Coffee House coordinator, Melissa Allen. So we're so grateful all of you are here, and enjoy the show.
Hello, Devil Mountain Coffee House. I'm Scott Cook. I sure hope this thing is working. Who knew that I would end up in the TV business? So it goes. I'm going to start off with a song for everyone's favorite housemate of mine. You saw her on the intro. Her name's Foxy. I want to send this one out to her. We staggered arm in arm here when we were younger. Tried everything they said we shouldn't do. And we took as many trips as we took lovers. But some of those trips, a dog comes back with you. And some of those trysts turned into tricycles. And my wild and reckless friends got safe and old, wheeling little buddy homeward on the bicycle, with all the hope and joy and poop a bike seat could hold. Now the feral festival kidlets keep changing costumes. They run in a pack and dig holes in the ground. And they like sleeping under the table, just like the dogs do. So you watch your step when there's little ones around. And I'm a better person when I'm hanging with dogs and kids. Got one thing on their mind at a time, can't keep nothing hid. Remind me we're alive, forgive whatever we did. I'm a better person hanging with dogs and kids. So we talk about work and what we're reading, why the bastards keep winning, and where we'd move if they did. We talk about who went home with whom at the party last weekend, but eventually we just watch the dogs and kids. Chasing and sniffing and eating's all they're on about. They don't complicate their blues, they just moan. They don't think much about themselves, they just freak out. If they got a bone to pick with you, it's probably just a bone. And I'm a better person when I'm hanging with dogs and kids. Got one thing on their mind at a time, can't keep nothing hid. Remind me we're alive, forgive whatever we did. I'm a better person hanging with dogs and kids. My buddy had a run of bad luck and bad choices. If it goes bad in court, one of us has to take his pup. He's trying to learn to listen to the right voices. Hope he don't have to miss his kid growing up. We were all bulletproof daydream manifestors, but all the bluster just boils down to love. Just wanna be a good uncle, be a good ancestor. I'm taking better care when there's someone to take care of. And I'm a better person when I'm hanging with dogs and kids. Got one thing on their mind at a time, can't keep nothing hid. Remind me we're alive, forgive whatever we did. I'm a better person hanging with dogs and kids. I'm a better person hanging with dogs and kids. All right, I think everything's working. How are you? My name's Scott Cook. I'm coming to you from Edmonton, Alberta. I think I'm going to turn a light on here. Just warm things up a little bit. Yeah, I'm in my study in Edmonton, Alberta. And I was asked, maybe a month ago, by Melissa at the Devil Mountain Coffeehouse if I would join you guys and sing some songs for your monthly concert, I guess it is. And I'm super happy to do it. Coffee houses and folk clubs are pretty much the thing that's kept me on the road. These past 13 years, I guess I was on the road until the pandemic came along and made that a lot less viable of an operation. But my favorite dots to connect across the map are house concerts and folk clubs and coffee houses. And it's amazing to me that some people don't even know these things exist in their town, you know. Quite often it's like the only place in your city that you could get a coffee for $1. And it's one of the few places, in many places, that many people will sit and actually listen to music. So it's been a real joy for me to find these places. They're like little oases of culture scattered all across the country, and it always gives me a real joy to stop in. So I'm happy to stop in virtually, and I hope to do the real thing in person sometime. But this is a song about life on the road, and it's inspired by the voice of a troubadour from Oklahoma by the name of Woody Guthrie. Aren't some people just famous for being famous? Isn't that about all that they do? And couldn't the radio leave you feeling aimless? Just a nameless person like you. But I sure heard the words Woody Guthrie sang. even when they didn't quite rhyme. He knew the heart was the stuff, they'd be close enough further down the line. I've painted houses, mopped floors, and washed dishes, taught kids, cut grass and moved gear, swung hammer, cleaned toilets and dug ditches, and I even sang songs to sell beer. But it was all for someone else's dream, till I set out after mine. Said, take this hammer, take it to the captain, tell him I'm further down the line. I crossed the Fraser, the Columbia, the Mississippi, the Allegheny and the Ohio, St. Lawrence, Susquehanna, Chattahoochee, the Hudson and the Colorado. I saw the big rigs sleeping in the starry desert, saw the snow piled round the Yukon pines. But I couldn't hang around too long in New York town without looking further down the line. Some of the joints in New Orleans aren't pretty, but the waitresses will call you hun, and a cop will stay on the white side of the city, 'cause they paid for his hat and his gun. And there's a Gulf War vet by the overpass who says, bro, can you spare a dime? Who's he kidding? These days $1 won't be getting you any further down the line, boys. I saw the stars and bars flying in Dixie, and doomsday prophets on Capitol Hill. I saw a fast food mall named after Walt Whitman, and Gettysburg ghosts wandering still. If our families are so broken, how do we make a family out of humankind? We still got promises to break and miles to go before we wake further down the line. I saw the homeless and the houses sitting empty. I heard the explanations of learned men. Nowadays they'll rob you with a computer, 'cause it's faster than a fountain pen. And if smarter people haven't found a gap in the armor, why do I keep trying? I still believe there's a world dying to be born further down the line, friends, further down the line. Oh, Woody, I've been through all kinds of weather, been searching all the faces for a sign. As you know, love's hard to keep together as the miles and the years unwind, and you never run out of blacktop. No, you just run out of time. That ribbon of songs keeps on winding along ever further down the line. That ribbon of songs keeps on winding along ever further down the line. Yeah, Further Down the Line, that one's called. That's the title track. Both those two songs are off this record. It's called Further Down the Line. Came out in 2017, and I made the unique decision, I suppose, to publish it as a book. It comes with a 132-page book, mostly pictures, but also a lot of writing, just about my story over the 10 years leading up to this, from the time I quit my job teaching kindergarten over in Taiwan and moved into a minivan and set out to see just how deeply I could impoverish myself from coast to coast and eventually all around the world. So that tells the story of that. I'm going to play you one more off that record, but first I just want to check in. I see people are saying hello and stuff over here in the comments, so I just want to check in and see what they're saying. There's Melissa. She says, many thanks for joining us this evening. Well, many thanks for the invitation, Melissa. It means a lot. And she says it sounds good. Okay, hey, Caitlin. Kate, I don't know how to pronounce your name, but that must be Caitlin Jeffries that I just virtually met the other day online through the David Wilcox show, I believe. I gotta say, it's been pretty amazing during this pandemic and unexpected. As I said, I never expected to get into the TV business. That's been a surprise. But also, I never really expected how connective it would feel. I've been doing these online shows. We've been having a monthly variety show with my housemates, and we bring in various guests. And I've been guesting on other people's shows. And through that, I've connected with a whole bunch of people that I probably wouldn't have found just by driving around out in the world. Case in point, I guested on Katie Doll's show. Katie Doll Has Friends, and Katie, through that's how Melissa found me, and that's how I'm singing for you here today. So, as distant as it might feel on the internet, there are some good things about it, and I'm grateful for this one. So speaking of things I'm grateful for, I am also grateful for the Unitarians. So many of these coffee houses that I play are in Unitarian churches, and they're so cool about opening up their space for things to happen, and they're so cool about embracing people from a variety of belief systems and worldviews. And I just think it's a wonderful example of how human beings can get along in any Unitarian congregation. So I want to send this one out to the Unitarians. If he showed up now, you wouldn't know what to do. He'd be flat broke as usual, filthy too, and the worst thing about it, when he comes to town, is the kind of people that he brings around. But all of your life you have called him your friend and promised you'd stick by him right to the end. So you'd say, do us the honor, have something to eat. And he'd say, where were you when I was living on the street? If he showed up now, there'd be trouble, I bet. He'd be talking revolution. Or did you forget when you told him you'd follow him? He said, if you were anything like me, they'd kill you too. You'd say, I've been calling you, haven't you heard? I live by your name and I'd die for your word, and I'd fight to defend it in every detail. And he'd say, where were you when when I was in jail. If he showed up now, would you recognize him? If he came as a pauper when you expected a king, or as an illegal scrounging for bills, or a defenseless child in the Mexican hills, you'd say, I've been fighting your cause all along. I studied your pages and sang out your songs, and it was in your name that I closed every prayer. And he'd say, where were you when I was sick and couldn't get care? He'd say, if I'd known it was you, I'd have come. I fought for your honor, and all that I've done, it was under your banner, in the name of the sun. And he'd say, where were you for the weakest ones? Where were you for the weakest ones? All right, I'm going to turn off my volume. It sounds like when people comment, it goes pew. Okay. So those are 3 songs off of a record called Further Down the Line. I want to play you a bunch of stuff off my new record. But before I get to that, I want to play you a cover. Because that's been an important part of what I've been up to these last 13 years that I've been playing music full time. Just because I think I've had the good fortune to meet some of the best songwriters alive out there, and most of them are people that hardly anybody's heard of, you know, unless you hang out at places like the Devil Mountain Coffeehouse. You probably haven't heard of them. So I just try and carry their songs around and drop them off wherever I go. And I think I want to play you one from California actually today, from a guy who lives not too far from you there in Walnut Creek. He's in Sacramento. He's in the capital city, and his name is Justin Farron. I met him at the Sisters Folk Fest in Sisters, Oregon, and we were both there teaching at the song camp. And then the following year he came back to Sisters, and me and him went down to California and did a little tour around there, maybe 10 dates in Oregon and California, and actually down there I met a Walnut Creeker with Justin at the Lost Church. Bill and Pam Herrera from Walnut Creek, they came out to that show at the Lost Church in San Francisco, and I don't know if Bill's watching tonight, but if you are, hey buddy, thanks for tuning in. So yeah, I'll play a Justin Farron song. He just put out a new record this past year. It's called Pretty Free, and I think it's one of the finest works of art I've ever got my ears on. We're trying to retrace all the steps that brought us here. Costco returning diapers on a Friday night. And you were laughing at the back of my membership card. A picture I remember taking, but can barely recognize. A full head of hair, not a touch of gray on it. Smile half worn away by all the sawdust in my wallet. You said, I like you better now. All that hair just hid your face, Besides, you were always this old, now you just look your age. And you were colder back then, a little harder to start. Same way you grew into that nose, I guess you grew into your heart. And now your face is etched with a purpose I don't see here in these eyes. Always a little more love, always a little less time. Friday nights, they come on faster now and just seem to flicker out. But there's a handful I hold sacred and don't talk much about, for fear that the static of today could drown out all that's come before, till it's all just the sound of silence on the intercom at the grocery store. But I remember you that summer night on the roof of my brother's house, laughing and talking and making love and dreaming out loud. And that same face bent with agony by the very root of our being, I was overcome with helpless reverence as our girl burst forth from Eden. And I felt a line thread through me, from my father to my child, and back through a host of spirits lined up single file. I can hear them whispering through the ether every time I'm looking in her eyes. Always a little more love, always a little less time. I hear a voice I know from somewhere call out across the music wing. We were both signed up for theory, man, but we just loved to sing. And her heart was broken glass, and your eyes were clear. Looked just like our daughter in 20 years. I started skipping class, I'd wait for you across the hall. I remember feeling a little guilty, but just a little, and that was all. I didn't know what we were starting. Truth is, I didn't know much. Just a lucky fool falling blind and backward into something that would always hold me up. And I guess that's always been the story of you and I. Always a little more love, always a little less time. That's Justin Farron wrote that one. Justin Farron is spelled Justin. I bet you got that part. Farron, Farren. Justin Farron from Sacramento. He's on justinfarron.com. You know what? I just got to go over here and see if anybody in the crowd knows Justin Farron. No, nobody's saying yet. Well, check him out, justinfarron.com. He is amazing, and he's from your neighborhood. So I think I'm going to play you a brand new one. As a matter of fact, this one has not been performed live. It's scary enough doing these streams and trying to figure out all the tech and hoping that the camera will work and all that stuff, hoping that you got the mix right and you're not clipping and stuff. I figure I may as well throw in a little extra dose of fear and just play a brand new song. This one's just about maybe 2 weeks old, this song, and I recorded it and released it exclusively to my patrons over on patreon.com. I'm on Patreon. Patreon.com/ScottCookSongs is where you can support me on an ongoing basis if you feel like doing that. So far, there's 72 kind souls who've signed up, and they're giving me monthly contributions of whatever level feels comfortable for them. There's only one tier to the thing. And in exchange, I'm doing a monthly Zoom hang and recording and releasing a song every month, exclusively for them, before I let it out in the world. And it's good. It's got me committed to my craft. It's got me committed to the showing up every day for the songwriting. And so far, it's turned out 1.5 songs. I've just started up the Patreon, and This is the first one that came out of it. It's a song. It's a song set back on my on the Cook family farm in Levering, Michigan. It's called "There's a River." My daddy's dog was an emboldened retriever. If you horsed around, he'd chase you, grab the hat right off your head. Granddad said he was a genius, and he'd make you a believer. One time he said, "Pal, go get my slippers," and Pal did just what he said. And when he was old and blind and moaning, and the vet said there's no use, Granddad sat and watched him sleeping, thinking about what he had to do. Pal was yipping and running down in his dreams so deep. That old pup was chasing bunnies in his sleep. There is a river shining in the sun, sleeping in the tall grass, laughing as it runs, and we'll all be delivered. I can't say what that means, but there is a river, there's a river in dreams. My grandma was steadfast, faithful all her life, prayed she'd be a good girl, kneeling by her bed, became a one-room schoolhouse teacher, a mother and a wife. But when all her work was over, she began to lose the thread. Dreaming in the care home, not hearing the TV, her fingers tracing careful lines across a page we couldn't see, like it was the words of her shepherd who laid his life down for his sheep. She was reading her devotions in her sleep. There is a river shining in the sun, sleeping in the tall grass, laughing as it runs, and we'll all be delivered. I can't say what that means, but there is a river, there's a river in dreams. My great-grandpa built this house when he got back from World War I, using only salvaged lumber and rusty nails he'd straightened out. Never complained about the farm work, but he loved when it was done. In those days, every crick in the pastures was swimming with trout. And like he insisted on driving, even when he was going blind, 'cause he had every twist and turn of those back roads in his mind. In dreams, his hands relived the habits that the old man couldn't keep, moving just like he was tying flies in his sleep. There is a river shining in the sun, sleeping in the tall grass, laughing as it runs, and we'll all be delivered. I can't say what that means, but there is a river, there's a river in dreams. There's a river in dreams. All right, brand new one. Feels good. Feels good to play it out. Well, I think I'm gonna bring Pamela May in. I think if she can hear me. Hey, Pamela. Well, I don't hear her yet. Maybe I'll play another and then I'll bring her in. Oh, Hey, do you feel like joining me, love?
Sure.
Okay.
Oh, is a gig happening in here?
Here she is, Pamela May.
Hello.
The amazing Pamela May.
Not so amazing. Wasn't on cue there.
Oh, it's all good. My personal heroine, Pamela May.
Waiting in the wings there.
Thanks, babe. How's Foxy?
She's good.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's nice outside. We saw some magpies.
Oh, yeah.
Hmm.
Did
Other
she
dogs.
chase them?
Oh, no.
Okay.
Oh, no. She just...
Did she sniff the bum of the other dogs?
She couldn't get close enough as she wanted.
Mm-hmm. I wish I could know what kind of information it is. It's apparently
Leave that to the dogs.
very prized information, but I don't know what it is. All right. Hey, I see my buddy Jean-Paul's here. He is here. Jean-Paul, how are you, man? He says, the sweet thing about connecting online is that I've seen more of you this year, Scott, than any 5 years
Wow.
put together
Yeah.
in the past. Oh, man. True enough, Jean-Paul. Wow. Although we have seen each other in some cool places, like when you and the family walked into that pub I was playing in what's it called now? Now, come on. It's in England anyway. It's in the north of England. I'm going to remember the place. The pub is called the Snig.
Huh. Great names in England.
They do have great names. They do. They really do. West Bank, they call that town. It's near Widnes, but like it's so near Widnes, but you know how it is in England, like they have a slightly different accent even though they're just across the river or whatever. And they adamantly say that they're not Widnesians, they're West Bankers. How about we play him an Earth Day song?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yesterday, a really amazing thing happened. A guy named Bob Bosson from Gabriola Island told me that he had been covering my song, "Pass It Along," and he asked me if he could get a bunch of friends together to do a version of it, and he did it. And it's just like a Playing for Change style thing, you know, a video with a bunch of people, including Peggy Seeger, Ferris and Jason Romero, Leon Rosselson. Who else is on there?
Elizabeth May.
Yeah, Elizabeth May, the former leader of the Green Party of Canada,
True
is
musician.
on there. Amazing. With my friend John Kidder, who she just married.
Eva HD.
Eva HD, an amazing poet from Toronto. There's so many cool folks guesting on it. You can see it if you want. If you go to my website, it's scottcook.net. Just scroll down on the front page and you'll see the video right there. But we'll play it for you now. This guitar came from a timber, from the body of a tree, through the workshop of a luthier. Now it's on loan to me, and it's good company after dinner. And it fits my hands just fine, but someday another singer with a pair of hands like mine will coax out songs much prettier, still hiding in its strings, and sing stronger, braver words than I could ever sing. And folks are gonna love it. Of this I'm almost sure. So I'll take good care of it, 'cause I'm borrowing it from her. Pass it along, pass it along. May it land in careful hands when we're gone. You carry it for a moment, but time won't loan it to you for long. You don't own it, pass it along. And I still love my country. Sometimes it's hard to recognize it, but I count myself lucky to have been born inside it. And I'm grateful for the rights others struggled hard to win. You can be sure I'm gonna fight when they try and take them back again. Oh, and everywhere are teachers though some fell along the way. The words they said still reach us, just like you're teaching me here today. And you may not speak it loud, but it's clear in what you do. And I hope to make you proud, 'cause I borrowed it from you. Pass it along, pass it along. May it land in careful hands when we're gone. You carry it for a moment, but time won't loan it to you for long. You don't own it, pass it along. Seems these days we're in a hurry to grab up all that's left to use, putting patents on discovery, making seeds that don't reproduce. If our vision is so narrow, seeing only bought and sold, we'll end up like the pharaohs, buried with their gold. We've all pushed this thing along, we've all been guided by our fear, but the river sings a song we've gotta be quieter to hear. It's in every child's face, new and hopeful as a stem. Best be gentle with this place, 'cause we're borrowing it from them. Pass it along, pass it along. May it land in careful hands when we're gone. You carry it for a moment, but time won't loan it to you for long. You don't own it, pass it along, pass it along, pass it along. May it land in careful hands when we're gone. You carry it for a moment, but time won't loan it to you for long. You don't own it, pass it along. Nice work, babe.
Nice songs.
Thank you. Oh, hey,
Such
play the
good advice.
banjo here.
Such good advice you give.
Yeah, let's try this one. This is another Earth Day song for you. Oh, thank you. Caitlin says that was such a sweet video of your song. I had tears in my eyes watching it. Thanks. And hey, Melissa Allen, thanks for tuning in. This is so cool. I hope to come see those of you who are Californians. I hope to come see you in about a year's time. I really want to get back down the coast. And I got this big dream to do it on a bicycle. We'll see.
That's not an impossible dream.
It's not an impossible dream, but it's an improbable
It's a good
dream.
one. It's a plausible. I mean, at the moment.
At the moment, yeah, not happening, but I'm
It's coming.
I'm grateful for your faith in me.
I believe in you.
All right, let's give this one a go here. Song about being a kid. It's called Among the Trees. Remember when we played among the trees, threw pine cones and skinned our knees, built forts out of sticks and boats out of paper and wood. And the days lasted so long, lots of games had their own song. And up until dinner time, we had the run of the neighborhood. There was a rainbow in a piece of glass. Dewdrops in the tall grass. Dark smells and shade and a puddle of water in an old rubber tire. And a hiding place inside it. And anywhere your bones fit. And inside every story with something to fight against and someone to admire. And the TV signed off at night. Remember that? But you could read with a flashlight. And games just took cards or chalk or jacks and a ball. We played grown up with candy smokes and hockey cards in our bike spokes. And climb in a maple tree, the seeds would helicopter as they fall. We'd always known it, but if we knew what it was worth, would you traded it for trinkets from the company store? Like saying it was heaven, but at least it was earth. We don't taste much of that anymore. What weight pulled our kites down? What fear drove us from the playground? Convinced us there's only one game, and the point is to win it. What modesty clipped our wings, traded our dreams for things, led from leaf-covered trails to a road with no poetry in it. And can we find our way back somehow? Or has our imagination failed us now? Here with the world at our fingertips, doors locked and shades drawn. Can we catch a wild breeze again? Are there still faraways in the wind? Stories worth believing, dreams worth betting everything on. I still believe there are.
Like biking across the coast. I'll put my bets on that.
I suppose when you get out there, you really have bet everything on it.
Yeah, you really have. You're all in.
And you told everybody you're going to do it.
And you're on Facebook.
You better do it. Yeah, you went on Facebook and said you're going to do it. You better do it. All right. Yeah, Jean-Paul says the town was called Widnes, south of Liverpool, which incidentally was where Paul Simon wrote Homeward Bound. It's true. The city is called Widnes. Yeah, that town there is called West Bank. But on the map, it probably is just called Widnes. And it's true. Paul Simon wrote Homeward Bound there, which, if you listen to the lyrics of the song, is really not a very good tourism advertisement for your town. But
Oh, I'll have to go listen.
he mostly just talks about how they all look the same, all the towns, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're going to play you one off a new record. I mentioned the new record. I haven't even got to it yet. I showed you this one further down the line with a 132-page book. And what do you do after that? Really, what do you do to follow that except just write a hardcover book? This is it's a 240-page book, mostly words, this one. Just talking about some stuff that happened to me over the last few years and some thoughts about our broader situation in the world and the future and the earth and a whole bunch of things. It's decorated with leaf art by my friend Cecilia Sharpley from Healesville, Australia. She does amazing stuff. This is a piece of hers. Basically, she takes a piece of paper. She gets these leaves from local eucalypts and she wraps the paper around it and she boils it in water, and the leaves just leave their print on them. It's pretty amazing. Anyway, her leaves are all decorating the book, and there's words and chords in there, and as a matter of fact, there's a CD in the back too. So
Bonus.
yeah, and this is one of the songs off of it, a little love song I wrote for this one. It's called "Leave a Light On." This is a low-budget love song. There's no car chasing, no moon falling from the sky or mountains crumbling to the sea. I just wanna be around you. I'll try to say it plain. And if you don't believe me, I'll spell it out again. I know it's intricate step work. We don't wanna rush this measured cadence and the distance between us. But I got a steady feeling like I never knew. I'm thanking life for second chances and glory. Start streaming. Okay, it says live. Doesn't seem to be working awesome. But yeah, it's not working well.
Did I hang up too soon?
I wonder if maybe it'll settle down here. Yeah, maybe it's good. No, it's not. Reconnection successful.
Oh boy.
Bitrate isn't great. Oh no, it's coming up. Huh. Okay, I think we're on. Hello, Walnut Creek. I hope this is working. Yeah, it seems to be working. Okay, maybe we'll play you one more song. Looks like you're down again. Oh, that was probably a second ago, though. Don't know. You're live again, freezing, frozen. You're back.
Oh no. On, off.
Okay, I think this is us right now. What's this say? Hello, Walnut Creek. Yeah, okay. I hope this is working. Seems to be back. We'll see for how long. Okay. Yeah, it seems to be working. Okay, maybe we'll play you one more song. Looks like that was probably a second ago. Back up, hooray, working. Okay. Okay, I just gotta do this thing. I wanna get my free hour, but I don't know how to do it. Because this could cost. How do I do that? Oh, I don't see it. Oh. Okay, I think we're just gonna have to play one song because I don't know about my phone.
The not so trusty technology.
Yeah. All right. Well, do you want to play Say Can You See?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Okay, we'll leave you with this one. Thank you so much for tuning in, folks. Pamela and I will have a show on the 7th of May. Yeah, that's right?
Yeah.
Yeah, May 7th. We'll have an online show from the back of the van, and we're going to be using the phone. So it should be steady, unlike this home internet. And yeah, and we'll have our neighbor Jay come on to talk about bike repair, and we'll have
maybe our roommate.
Our roommate Elliot is going to come on and sing. From a distance.
Maybe,
We'll check back in with home. Maybe Rachel Kilgore. Yeah. We'll see. Anyway, May 7th. And then we got another show on May 14th or 15th, whatever the Saturday is. Voices in the Heights out of Brooklyn with Susie Vinnick and Megan Carey. And that's going to be great. And we'll be in Jasper, Alberta, in the Rocky Mountains at that time. You can find out all that information on scottcook.net. Scottcook.net never goes down. It's always up and running. Once more, please give some faraway applause for the amazing Pamela May. And thank you again for listening. We'll leave you with one more song off of this one, Tangle of Souls. And thank you to Mark for your technical help. Thank you to Melissa. Thank you to all the kind folks at Devil Mountain. I hope to come see you in person sometime. I love this country. I love the people and the land. But there's a lot of stuff happening that I can't understand. We got billions for bailouts. We got trillions for wars. But it's hard for working people to make a living anymore. Hear me out for a second. This ain't a partisan song. It ain't about right and left. It's about right and wrong. We're fighting over the scraps while a few are living like kings. 'Cause screwing us over's a bipartisan thing. And it's working people who made this country great, not the greedy opportunists or the peddlers of hate. And if a new day's coming, it's gotta come from you and me. Oh, say, can you see? See, I got a neighbor. We don't always agree. He's a bit of a redneck, according to a hippie like me. But if you're in the ditch, he'll pull you out, I know he will. And that's more than I can say for all those dickheads on the hill. He works hard for his family. He's got loyalty and pride. The company took all he gave and then cast him aside. 'Cause there's profit in poverty. Hell, there's profit in prisons. And they don't even pay taxes. They just buy politicians. But it's working people who made this country great, not the greedy opportunists or the peddlers of hate. And if a new day's coming, it's gotta come from you and me. Oh, say, can you see? Oh, say, can you see? And in New York Harbor, there's a lady with a flame, still calling in the huddled masses in liberty's name. But there's fear on the airwaves and hatred wrapped in the flag, turning strangers into enemies and our riches into rags. And a revolution to break the grip of greed don't need a strong man or a savior, but I believe we're gonna need whatever magic this old world's got left to start, and all the ammunition in the chambers of our hearts. It's working people who made this country great, not the greedy opportunists or the peddlers of hate. And if a new day's coming, it's gotta come from you and me. Oh, say, can you see? Oh, say, can you see? Thanks, Pamela May.
Thank you, Scott Cook. Oh, those great songs.
Thank you, Devil Mountain Coffeehouse. It has been a pleasure singing songs for